Okay, are we live? Are we live? Are we live? Cool. Okay, let's get this show started then. Hello. So my name is Marko, and yeah, I work as a software developer, actually full stack web developer for a bunch of years now. And this is actually the first time I'm doing a stream ever, which is really like amazing. I feel really good about it, and I hope that it will go good. Well, anyway, so welcome. Um, I decided today to solve one of the exercises on the Exercism website in Python, right? Because it's Analytical April, and Python is one of my favorite languages. And what I like most about it is that it's so natural. It reads like an English language, which is great. By the way, I'm streaming this from my home in Stockholm, Sweden, and yeah, very excited to be doing this. So cool. Let's just jump right in if you're up for it. So okie dokie, let's switch to another scene. And now, so what I wanted to pick today is the Meetup exercise in the Python track. And yeah, here are the instructions. And you're just gonna be looking at me going through the process of thinking for different types of solutions on how to solve this. And we're gonna go step by step and maybe refactor along the way. And yeah, who knows what we're in for, which is cool. Great. Then let's start reading up on the exercise. So here are the instructions. Recurring monthly meetups are generally scheduled on the given weekday of a given week each month. Okay. In this exercise, you will be given the recurring schedule along with a month and year. So probably these are some kind of inputs. And then asked to find the exact date of the meetup. Okay, so that should be the output, what we are going to implement. For example, a meetup might be scheduled on the first Monday of every month. Okay, you might then be asked to find the date that this meetup will happen in January 2018. In other words, you need to determine the date of the first Monday of January. Right, so that's the input pretty much, I figure. So similarly, you might be asked to find the third Tuesday of August 2019 or the 10th, 10th. Oh, maybe it's like 12, 13. That's probably what it means. Wednesday of May 2020. The fourth Sunday of July 2021. And the last Thursday of November 2022. So those are probably just examples, right? So the descriptors you are expected to process are first, second, third, fourth, last, and 10th. Okay, so these are the descriptors that we went through these examples before. Note that the descriptor 10th is a made-up word. Yeah, I noticed that. It refers to the 7 numbers that end in teen in English. So 13, 14, 15, 16, and so on, including 19. But general descriptions of dates use ordinal numbers. So for example, the first Monday, the third Tuesday, and so on. So for the numbers ending in teen, that becomes, yeah, 13th, 14th. Okay. Okay, clear enough until now. So there are 7 numbers ending in teen. Okay. All right. So 7 numbers, and there are 7 days in the week, right? So, yeah, exactly. So that's what it says. Therefore, it is guaranteed that each day of the week will have exactly one numbered day ending with teen each month. Okay, so yeah, so every single weekday can only have one of these teen instances in 1 month, right? If asked to find the 10th Saturday of August 1953, we need to look at the calendar for August 1953. Right. Okay. So the Saturday that has a number ending in teen, so probably they would say find the 10th Saturday of uh, August 1953. And that would be 15 because that's the only number that ends in teen and it's a Saturday. Okay, got it. And then we have customizing and raising exceptions section. Sometimes it is necessary to both customize and raise exceptions in your code, right? As in any other Python code. When you do this, you should always include a meaningful error message, right? This makes your code more readable. Custom exceptions can be created through new exception classes. There are typically subclasses of exception. Right, this is just like standard Python, the way Python does it, right? And the way we do it in Python. For situations where you know the error source will be a derivative of a certain exception type, you can choose to inherit from one of the built-in error types under the exception class. Yeah, Python has a bunch of those. When raising the error, you should still include a meaningful message. Right, so this particular exercise requires that you create a custom exception to be thrown. When your meetup function is given a weekday name and number combination that is invalid. Right, so that would be, if we go back to the calendar. So for example, if they said, so we're going to pull, let's say first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Okay, then we have Friday. Okay, Friday has 4 of them, right? So 4 occurrences in the August of 1953. So if someone would said, give me the 5th Friday in August 1953, that's an error, and that's probably when we should throw an exception then. Right. So the test will only pass if you customize appropriate exceptions. So I guess the tests are already written like that. To customize a built-in exception, create a class that inherits from that exception. And write the message as an argument to the exception type. Right, so we have an example here how to subclass the built-in value error and make our own exception, right? So maybe that's what's expected in the test cases. All right, that's a lot of information. So let's do this first. So let's try to go. I prepared the code already. I downloaded it from the Exercism website using the CLI. So yeah, we have the meetup.py file where we're supposed to implement our code. And then we have the meetup test where we have the complete test suite that should run. And usually the best way to do this is, of course, doing sort of like a TDD approach, test-driven development. So what I like to do before I even start coding at all is to run the test cases. And so we should run pytest and run the test file with those flags. And those flags will basically, what they'll do is they will run the test suite and just stop on the first test case that fails, as opposed to like executing all the test cases at once, even if they fail. So it's a much cleaner way to kind of do this gradually, step by step, which is a good thing in programming in general, right? You don't want to start implementing everything at once, all the requirements. You just want to go step by step. So and refactor along the way. So let's do this. Let's run it. All right. Yeah, so this is the test case that's failing. As you can see, it's testing 5th Monday of March 2015. As you can see here in our assertion statement, is that this input to the meetup function, which corresponds to the 5th Monday of March 2015, should give us the date, which is 30th of March 2015. So that means that the 5th Monday of March 2015 is actually 30th of March. So that's the number that we have to find, number 30. Okay, all right. So I'll just close this down and I will think a bit about what and how we do this. So I guess we have year 2015. And we have month, whatever is in the test case. Let's just write it out. Was it March? Yeah, March. That's number 3. And we have Monday. Okay. So I'm thinking here what we need to do in order to find out. Okay, week. Week is also an input, right? That's 5th. Okay. 5th. So 5th Monday of March 2015. Right, so how do we know what is the 5th Monday? If you think about it, we should probably look at some kind of calendar, right? Or build some kind of calendar structure for March 2015, or for pretty much any month, because the month can vary depending on the input and the year as well. So what would be nice is to be able to somehow get some kind of structure, like a list of days in March 2015, or yeah, let's try searching for that. So I always go to Google and search for like Python month date time. Okay, date time. Okay, date time module supplies classes for manipulating dates and times, right? Okay, and date is something that we do have in our tests. Let's just open up the tests. Date, right? Because the asserts are expecting date, so we will need the date here. That's coming from this module, which I know by heart because I've been working in Python for some time now, and there is a date structure here. Yeah, there are a lot of date objects, right? So we need to import this class here. Let's do that. Let's do that, exactly that. Okay, from date time, import date. Yeah, date. Okay, because we'll need that, definitely. But I was wondering, like, how do we, where can we construct the days in a month? Let's go to the top. There is a calendar module. Let's look at that one. So the calendar class or object has some methods right here, which gives us an iterators. And we do have one for the month, for the given year and month. We do have that. And what does it say? This iterator will return all days for the month and all days before the start of the month or after the end of the month. They're required to get a complete week. No, that's partly what we want. Let's keep on looking. Right, HTML calendar, that doesn't make sense for us. Let's first weekday is leap days, weekday, weekday. Could it be day of the week for the year? We maybe need this at one point. We have month range, returns weekday of first day of the month and number of days in a month. Okay, so definitely we can get number of days in a month given a month and a year. So that's something we could use here, I guess. And then day of the week. Because this function weekday, right? It receives year and a month, and we do have that provided as input, but we don't have the day. So we can actually maybe build a calendar, like a list, right? Like a list of days in a given month and a year by using these two functions. So like weekday and month range, we take month range and to extract the numbers of day in a month, and then we can just use the weekday function to build this, to build actually weekdays. Yeah, exactly. All right. Yeah, I think I get it. So that array, let's try this out actually. Let's go here. So what I expect to kind of achieve is something like, let's go to the month day. So like month range, use the month range. I can import this calendar from calendar import month range. What else can we use? Weekday. Cool. We can then using the month range, we can get number of days in a month. So let's say like number of, or days count maybe is a better name. Days count, and say month range. And here we type in the year that we received in the function. We type in the month. But it returns the weekday of the first day of the month and number of days in the month. So it's a tuple. So we need to ignore the first parameter, and then the second one is we're interested in. So days count. Okay. Cool. And then weekday. So can we iterate over a number of days in a month and build out a list which would, so the index of that list would correspond to the days in that month, and then the value we could put the result of this function, which is the week, right? Day of the week, sorry, day of the week. And 0 is Monday, so 0 means Monday in that notation. Let's try that. So okay, weekday of year, month, and then a day. They would be like an index which we would iterate over. Right. So it's like day. We can actually use the list comprehension to build this out. Weekday for day in not days count, not days count, but actually we have a function called range, I think. Range, exactly. It gives an iterator which iterates over the range of numbers you give it. So if we go from 1 to days count, that should give us an iterator that iterates 1, 2, 3, 4, and then up to the number of days in that month. Yeah. Let's then put this into a variable, and we should name this variable in a nice way, of course. So let's think about it. Those are weekdays, right? Weekdays in month. Okay. Yeah. So what we would get here actually is now something like, let's say that the month that we're looking at starts with a Monday, just for simplicity's sake. So it would go like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then it would go again, like Monday, Tuesday, and so on. So the number of items in this list will be equal to the days count, which is exactly how many days are in the month, and each index would correspond to that date. Okay, so maybe we can extract the date then from that there. Right, okay, so we have something now. Let's check the failed test case again. Right, so we need to find that number 30. That's depending on the, okay, so 5th Monday, for example, right? 5th Monday. So how do we convert 5th to a number? The word 5th. We can probably, the easiest way is to just build out a map or a dictionary. So like we would call it, how would we call it? Ordinal to number, something like that. And then we would say 5th as a key, and it maps to number 5. Yeah, something like this. So week number, or yeah, like week number, maybe we should call that variable. Week number equals ordinal to number. Not fifth, but week is the argument that holds this string. Okay. All right. Now what we need to do is think about the Monday, right? So we have Monday. I wonder if we can convert somehow the word Monday, Tuesday, Friday, whatever, to an actual number, because that's how it's represented in weekdays in months that we built out. So we should maybe check the Python documentation. Let's see, day name, an array that represents the days of the week in current locale. Okay, so we should maybe use this. I'm gonna try this out in a Python shell. And this is a nice way to kind of test out what's happening. I'm not sure when I'm getting permission errors. Maybe it's nothing. But let's see. So calendar. So from calendar, import day name. Oh no. What is happening here? Okay, maybe I should open up a new shell. Not sure why this is not working. Okay, I think now it's better. So from calendar import day name, right? And it says an array. Days of the week, right? So if we just type day name, oh, it's an object. Maybe it's some kind of iterator. Let's see. Let's try to just iterate over this. So for day in day name, and let's say print. Just let's print what day is. Okay. Yeah. Great. 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 So we get Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, exactly what I think our tests are giving us as an input parameter. Yes. So it's the capitalized word of the week, which is exactly that. And if we take day name, then it's a list, right? Where again, indexes correspond to day names, which is exactly what we actually want. So yeah. So let's see. We would say like day number or weekday number. Weekday number is okay. We need to import day name from calendar. Import day name. Right, and day name. But this is an array, so we'll have to search for this item right here. Okay, so let's see. So for day in day name, exactly, and then if day equals to, what was it, day of week, because that's what we get. Okay, if they equal, then we should store the index, and in order to get an index we need to use the enumerate method on the array, and then we get an index here, and then we store that index to the weekday num, like we said. Yeah, that's it. Great. So now we have the week number, we have the weekday number. Okay. Okay. Week number is actually like which one in sequence, which occurrence from the start of the month, which occurrence it is of the day of the week. So if it's Monday, then we should scan this array that we build out right here. And search for that week number. And we should count. We should count which one it is. Okay. Yeah, should we just go in sequence, extract all the weekdays that we are interested in, and then we get a shorter list. Yeah, something like that. So for, let's see, for weekday in weekdays in month. if right, so we are interested in weekday num. Yeah, a bit lousy naming for now, but yeah, let's keep on doing it. Weekday equals of weekday equals to weekday of num. What if we build a new array of like month, no, or occurrences, something like that. So occurrences would then hold, so it would be an empty list for now, and we would add the indexes, I think. Would we? Yeah, we would. Yeah, exactly. We would add the indexes of where the day that we're searching for, weekday that we're searching for. So we would pick up all the indexes from this array, weekdays in months, because that would then give us a list of dates in that month where Monday is occurring. Yeah, exactly. So let's do that. If it's in there, then occurrences, and we should append to the end of the list, and we should actually append the index, like we said again, index enumerate. All right. Weekday. No, not weekday. Index. And that will be zero-based index. I'm not sure if we should increment it by 1 at any point. Maybe we should do that depending on what we want. So now we have all the occurrences of that day, and now we need to, so we have the week number that we're interested in. Right, so fifth occurrence in here, in this list right here, which would mean if it's a zero-based index, and it is because it's the occurrences is a list, so it starts from 0. Fifth means actually number 4. So we say day equals occurrences of day of week, but week num. Okay, week number minus 1, I guess. All right, and then we have that day theoretically, and then we should just return the date with the year and month that we already have, and then the day. Yeah, maybe that will work. Maybe that will work. Let's just take a look at the hold on. Yeah, okay. I'm just checking the stream if there are any chat messages or something. So, okay. Right, let's try running this. So let's try going here and just run the test. Variable weekday reference before assignment. Variable weekday. reference before assignment, weekdays in months, wherever we are calculating weekdays in month. Oh, I see the problem. So weekday is the name of function, but I'm also using weekday here as a variable name. So I'm gonna rename this to something else. Let's run again. Right now we have again the same test is failing, assertion error. Oh, we have an off by 1 bug. You see, we're expecting to get 30, but we get 39. Exactly, because it's a yeah. Where is that off by 1 bug though? It's in the occurrences array. We're appending the index. So yeah, we should append the index plus 1 because the first day is actually not 0, it's 1 because the date is expecting day of the month, days of the month to go from 1 to whatever day count of the days. So let's save this and let's run it again. Okay, so as you can see, we have 1 test case passed. And now we have the next one after that is failing. So now we have another case with the word 5th and then Saturday here. And why is it failing though? List index out of range. Right. Why is it failing? List index out of range. So it's here. Yeah, I wonder why. Let's try just printing what we have in the occurrences list. One 8/15/22. So Saturday of February 2020. Right, hold on. So would that mean that we have 4 occurrences? What is that month anyway? It's 5th Saturday of February 2020. So 2020. Calendar. Yeah, let's see. Just looking at the calendar here. Oh, it's an image. Never mind. So 5th Saturday, February 2020. Saturday 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So why? Okay, what do we get? 1 8/15/22. 19, 22, but we don't get 29. See, that's the problem, I think. Why don't we get 29 in that array? Weekdays in months. I wonder if that's built out correctly. So we should say, let's print that one out. Weekdays in month. Weekdays in month. Yeah, let's type weekdays in month. Five, 6, 0. Yeah, 5 is Saturday, 6, 0, Sunday, Monday. And it goes on and on and on and ends with 4. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It seems like we're not adding the last day of the month here. Why are we not? Oh, because the days count, the range function actually doesn't include the end of the range given here, so we need to increment it by 1 right here. Yeah, that's it. Yes, great. Okay, so now we have 3 test cases passed. Next up is key error last. Right, okay, I get it. Because one of the input arguments that we need to treat is not only first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and so on. We should also handle in a special way, probably, the word first and the word last. So now we have the word last. And yeah, we cannot use this map here to add the word first or last. We need to have a special case for that. I'm going to remove these print statements. And I'm going to add a new if statement right here. So let's say if week is last, then we need to actually just return what is the final element of occurrences, right? So let's say day is occurrences. I think in Python you can actually do -1, which will get you the last element of the list. So if we say return date of year, month, and day, let's try this out. Huh? Okay, still failing. Here last. Where is it trying to access the? Oh, okay, because we're trying to convert the word ordinal, the fifth, and so on. We're trying to convert to a number, but we shouldn't do that unless we know that it's not one of these special cases like first or last. So let's put it right here. Or no, actually, hold on. Week num. Right, so it's used here. We can just, yeah, we can put that line right over here because it's not used anywhere else other than here when we're fetching the day. Okay. Let's try again. Okay. I think now we have a lot more test cases that passed, right? 19. Okay, next up is again fifth. Oh, right. I guess this means that the way test is written, it's expecting us to actually raise an exception, meetup day exception. This is one of those cases where they said that we should throw an exception if the 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 weekday doesn't exist. So the fifth Friday of August 2022 doesn't exist at all. And that's why we should throw an exception there. Right. Okay. So how do we do this? I guess when you're trying to access the week number here in the occurrences array that we built out, I guess that's when you get list index out of range because you're trying to access something that doesn't exist. So we should actually check whether the index we're trying to access exists or not. Yeah. So we should say here, like if I don't know, there is a len function that returns the length of the list. So we would need to see the length of the occurrences. And we're trying to access the week number from there. And when does it not exist? When the length is smaller than the week number, right? And that's when we should return something. Let's just return none now that we see that it got picked up. Yeah, because now we don't get this list index out of range here anymore. So that means we'd never reached this line, but we entered this code block right here where we're returning none. So here we actually need to return, not return actually, we need to raise an exception, right? Raise. And there is a meetup day exception defined right here. Meetup day exception. But we need to also provide it with some kind of, should we be providing it with some kind of string or something? Let's check the test. Where is that test? How do I find it? It's just search the string for it. Yeah, here we are. Oh, yeah, here we are. Okay, so we actually need to provide the message that day does not exist. That day does not exist, right? That day does not exist. Was it like this? It's right here. Yeah, it was like that. But we also need to provide the message to the constructor of our exception, right? Self.message. We need to store this message into the meetup day exception object. Right. So that's the message, the what we just provided here as an argument to this constructor. Okay, let's try this out now. Okay, I think we got that one passed. Now we have another failure, and that failure is corresponding to the word teenth. It's one of those situations where we have a number ending in teen, right? So it's any number from 13 to 19 included. And that's another special case, sort of. and you can only have one occurrence in a month of a given day that has the word or suffix teen inside of the day number. Um, so we can have another case here, like if case, if condition, and so the week is equal to, what is the week equal to? 10th. Yeah, like this. Right. And what do we do in this case? We do have the days, right, in the occurrences. So for the occurrences, we can iterate over the occurrences and stop when we get to a number between 13 and 19. So let's just like write a for loop. For day in occurrences. Right. Let's just see. Right. For day in occurrences. If the day is equal, not equal, maybe it should be the range between 13 and 19, right? So I think we can do this in Python. If day is between 13 and 19, yeah, if day is between 13 and 19, that's when we stop, right? Because we found this weekday that has the word teen inside. So we just return that date with the year, the month, and that day. Should that be it? Is it? Yeah, let's try it. Yeah. So 23 passed. Previously we had 22 passed. Right. So we are moving along. Let's see next one. Next test case that failed. Cool. Let's just check the chat. Okay, no one in the chat room. Okay. Cool. So first, right? We have this test case which checks for the word first. So first occurrence of Friday in December 2013. I think it's just trivial because we need to just include the word first here. First, and while we're at it, we can also include all the other ones. So like we will have second, third, fourth. We have fifth. So let's see the second, third, fourth. And we can change it to 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that should be it. And everything should just work because we're already accessing that dictionary right here. Okay, let's run it. Oh, cool. So we have all the test cases passing now, which is amazing. Great. I guess it's just not the only way to kind of implement this. What we could do now, actually, is can clean up the code a bit, and let's try to think how can we maybe make this a bit cleaner. Um, and the nice thing about it is that these tests right here, we can just run them to verify whether whatever we're doing here is actually working, uh, which is great when you have test cases, right? Okay, so what should we tackle first? Uh, so maybe the way we are, what are we doing here? So we're enumerating over, okay, the days. We can enumerating over the days in order to find day of week. We're actually converting the word to a number, right? So we can maybe isolate this into a separate method here. So let's say we call this convert day weekday to convert weekday to number, or maybe just weekday number, I don't know, weekday number, and given the day, right, which is a weekday essentially. But I wonder, because what we're actually doing here is we are actually finding the day of the week we're interested in. Isn't there like a Python function? Oh, Python function find or something, or find in a list. Filtering, finding the first occurrence. This is interesting. Right, so they're using the list comprehension to build out an iterator, and then using the next function to just fetch the next item in that iterator, and the next item in the iterator that you've never iterated over is actually the first element. So let's do this. Let's just move this, or actually we'll call this new function like weekday number given a day, and it's actually day name. No, not day name. Day name is our list, right? So we need the day of week. That's what we need here. And just copy this over up here. And here we, okay, no. We return weekday num. What did we call this here? Weekday num, right? Day of week is here day in this function because we named the argument day. Of day equals day, that's not good. Let's just call it weekday. Day equals weekday. Okay, still everything passing. We made it a bit cleaner. We can now maybe try to use what we found here. to make this maybe even shorter. So we are iterating here over day name. So we say like x, not x, like day. Because we need indexes, right? If day is weekday, we need an index. Index for index and day in enumerate day name like we had before. If day equals weekday. So that should be the same thing. And here, so we build this array, but we need to call next over it. So we need to store this into a variable right here. So these are like indexes or weekday nums. Right. And then what we would return is we would return next weekday num. Let's see where this takes us. I need to also comment this out. Not sure if this is cleaner or not, but at least we don't have these levels of indentation. Oh, weekday num is not defined, of course, because we need to use weekday nums. List object is not an iterator. Aha, right. Okay, so this needs to be an iterator. I'm not sure if this is how you do it. Yeah, okay. So we converted this to an iterator. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it is a bit cleaner. Yeah, depends on the preference, I guess. You could still keep that. That's quite actually clean already. But just as an example of what you can do, right, with refactoring. Okay, good. Then here we're building out occurrences array. And this we can also like use a list comprehension to achieve that, I guess. So let's try doing that. Occurrences. So let's try to do a list comprehension here. For index weekday in enumerate weekdays in months. Days in month. If weekday is right. Okay, so let's make this a bit maybe more understandable. Weekday in week, right? If weekday is equal to weekday num. I don't know if we can split that into like multiple lines like this. Yeah, now we don't need to initialize this at all. Okay, yeah, so we can do that. I mean, you can also, like, I like to also put these things in a function, right? So like find weekday occurrences. And it's like weekdays in month. Yeah, weekdays. So you can copy paste this here. And then you can also return this weekdays, weekday num, right? Like this. And now you will just say find weekday, oops, find weekday occurrences, and then we will say weekdays in month, and we would say weekday num. Right. And we can, why is it not working? So my keyboard is not working for some reason. Let's see. I'm trying another keyboard here. Okay. Okay. All right. So where were we? Occurrences. Yeah. Not sure why my Vim key bindings aren't working. Cool. That is that. Misspelled occurrences here. Let's run the tests. Okay, still passing. Cool. And yeah, this is now a bit more cleaner. At least the main meetup function is cleaner. We could keep going as well. We could say like try to refactor this one as well. Not sure. Should we do that here? Yeah, we don't have to. We don't have to. I think we should stop here. Probably that's good enough, I guess. Of course, there are multiple ways of doing this. I realize that. Probably using some other functions, maybe using some other refactoring approach as well. But yeah, I hope you had fun watching this. And yeah, I also have a channel on YouTube. It's called Codelistic. I can also show you if you ever want to check me out. I do, like, I record videos sometimes, development related, and they're on this channel called Codelistic. I can show you right here. Yeah, so just find me there if you're interested in that kind of stuff. I also have some Elixir exercises that I did a while back. I'm gonna be uploading stuff as well other stuff, including the exercism exercises. Okay, well, thank you very much for watching this, and see you next time. Thanks. Bye bye.